You know what? Let's just get into it. Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion with a B. This comes from
Yes.
Polygon.com. Microsoft plans to acquire Activision Blizzard, publisher of some of the most popular games on the planet, from World of Warcraft to Call of Duty, as well as the studios currently embroiled in multiple lawsuits related to accusations of gender discrimination in its workplace, the company announced Tuesday. Xbox boss Phil Spencer will serve as the CEO of Microsoft Gaming and oversee Activision Blizzard once the transaction is finalized. And we'll have more details on this in a second. The deal is worth $68.7 billion with the little Mr. Evil Pinky in the corner of the mouth. The largest acquisition in the company's history, and maybe in the gaming industry ever.
I cannot fathom $68.7 billion.
I can't.
What?
I can't even
I don't
imagine
know.
how. Yeah, I
I
can't.
can't imagine $1 million in front of me,
Mm-mm.
let alone $1 billion, let alone 70 billion. That's crazy to me. I don't even know, man. It's crazy.
In a blog post about this acquisition, Spencer said that Microsoft, quote, will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within the Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, both new titles and games from Activision's Blizzard's incredible catalog, end quote. Activision Blizzard, mind you, is currently facing multiple lawsuits and federal investigations, as well as calls for its CEO, Bobby Kotick, to resign over serious allegations of sexual harassment and assault at the publisher.
Fire Bobby Kotick.
#fire Bobby Kotick and its studios, including Blizzard. Kotick will remain CEO of Activision Blizzard until Microsoft acquisition of the publisher closes, which is expected to complete in 2023. And that's the end of the fiscal year in 2023. So that's until June 2023, Kotick said in an email to employees, saying, quote, this is Bobby Kotick in the email, until we receive all the necessary regulatory approvals and other customary closing conditions are satisfied, which we expect to be sometime in Microsoft's fiscal 2023 year ending in June 30th, 2023, as I said. We will continue to operate completely autonomously, Kotick said. I will continue as our CEO with the same passion and enthusiasm I had when I began this amazing journey in 1991, end quote.
God.
So I'm going to clarify a little bit. Wall Street Journal sources, this comes via Nibelian on Twitter, Wall Street Journal sources say that Bobby Kotick is expected to leave once the deal closes, saying, quote, Bobby Kotick is expected to leave after the deal closes, according to people familiar with those plans, and that after the deal closes, quote, the Activision Blizzard business will report to Microsoft Gaming chief Phil Spencer, end quote.
Yeah.
But the companies have agreed that he will depart once the deal closes, people said.
It gets even juicier, though, ladies and gentlemen. There were rumors yesterday, unconfirmed, so I cannot say this is truth or not, that Bobby Kotick was trying to purchase such sites as Kotaku so that he could filter like articles that were about him negatively if he was to get fired or leave and things like that. That's censorship in the media, straight up, right there. I don't know if this is true or not.
That sounds like some conspiracy theorist shit.
There was reports of this. I don't know.
From who?
I can look right now. I'll take a look. I'm telling you, it was a lot of places though.
I'm going to continue reading. You look for that.
Perfect.
The deal will further extend Microsoft's position in the games industry as a whole. Microsoft announcement outlines the huge scope of the purchase. With Activision Blizzard's nearly 400 million monthly active users in 190 countries and $3 billion franchises, so $3 billion franchises, this acquisition will make Game Pass one of the most compelling and diverse lineups of gaming content in the industry, as I would say it already is. Upon close, Microsoft will have 30 internal game development studios, along with additional publishing and esports production capabilities. Guys, Game Pass has been a giant. It is the driving force of the Xbox marketing plan as it stands right now. And this is doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this marketing strategy that Xbox has. Microsoft doesn't care whether or not you're buying Xbox Ones, okay? They don't care about whether you're buying Series X's or Series S's. They care about you getting on the service no matter what platform you're playing on currently.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited to let me clarify what I said real quick just before I missed that train.
Sure.
But it's a report from the Wall Street Journal claims Kotaku considered buying video game media outlets Kotaku and PC PC Gamer. When the finer details of the potential deals have not been revealed, the apparent idea behind buying the companies was to spin coverage back in Activision Blizzard's favor. Not to say anything positive about Kotick and the company, but and that comes from The Gamer and PC Gamer. So PC Gamer is reporting about Kotick possibly buying PC Gamer, which is interesting. But anyways,
yeah,
James, like I don't even know where to start with this because there's so many things that we could talk about in this acquisition.
Yes.
A big thing, obviously the one big thing that we hear all the time is Overwatch going to be Xbox exclusive? Is Call of Duty going to be Xbox exclusive? All this stuff. We don't know. But what we do know.
We'll talk about that more in a second because we have
Sure.
specific articles like talking about that. But specifically from like a marketing business like perspective, what are some of your key like takeaways? And where do you see Microsoft going? What do you think their overall big plan is with this?
It's hard to say because number one, I don't think we have seen. This is like probably a plan that they've had in place for the last couple years. They've been thinking about not just this company, but what they're doing. And I don't think we've seen the fruition
That's
of
impressive
that.
long-term planning.
Absolutely, because they have Bethesda. We haven't even seen the full like rollout of the Bethesda stuff yet.
No,
we have
especially
idea
because the exclusivity deals with Sony are still in place.
Yeah, totally. So I don't even know how that's going to shake out, let alone how this is going to shake out. I think we have an idea of how that's going to go because of what we've seen so far. But in reality, they're going to surprise us a lot more with whatever's going on here. We don't know the half of it, truly.
We really do not know the half of it.
No. I've heard people talking about, like Jeff Grubb on Twitter was jokingly having a conversation with other journalists and stuff about they're going to be forcing PlayStation to have an Xbox Game Pass app on their thing and forcing things like that. I don't think that's a possibility, but they're joking about it. Like how else are you going to have an audience? Because here's the thing. Call of Duty is every single year in the top 5, like most I don't know, grossing games, right?
Yeah.
Every single year. You're cutting off that PlayStation audience that buys that every year, right? So how else would you get them in to make that the most profitable game each year?
Let's put a pin in exclusivity for a second.
Sure. Okay.
Because we're talking about exclusivity in like 2 separate articles that come straight after this. That's for later.
But I guess what I want to bring up is that Game Pass. You already said it. Game Pass is what they need. Is what they're keep.
That is the future of Xbox.
They're gonna go with. I guarantee you won't even have to have an Xbox anymore. Like no. You're gonna be.
It's gonna be a streaming service. It's gonna be on your TV.
On your TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna be able to play it anywhere.
Yeah.
You just pack a controller and you're good to go.
Yep. In fact, it'll come bundled with your like Xbox Cast or like Xbox Google Chromecast or like you know what they 100%. Won't even do that. They're just gonna put it on as a service on your Fire Stick, on your Roku stick. They aren't gonna have their own proprietary thing. That's not Xbox's thing. They're interested in the software.
They might.
I don't think they will. I really don't think they will because
all the people with old TVs, they'll do it. They'll do it.
For people with old TVs, yeah, they'll have the option, but I don't think it's ever gonna be. It's gonna be like HBO Max. It's gonna be like Disney Plus. It's gonna be on every single platform.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think it's like, I think they will sell something specifically for the same reason you just bought like a Roku stick. Like, you know what I mean? Like the TV that you have doesn't have it, but you could plug your stick in and be ready to go.
That's true because also like smart TVs are a huge thing now too. Yeah. So it wouldn't, I don't think there would be a need for it with a smart TV. The same way.
Sure. Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah, same thing. Or God, what was the example I was going to pull? I don't remember.
Like there's so much here. Should we get into the next?
Keep going.
Piece of the article here. So obviously we already read about this. With them would come billion-dollar cornerstones like the annual Call of Duty series and the landmark MMO World of Warcraft, which I heard people were like, oh, if you have a Game Pass subscription, you probably are now going to have just a subscription to World of Warcraft. You wouldn't have to pay extra for that, which that's huge. Are you kidding me? Blizzard Entertainment, Diablo, and Overwatch franchises, both due for new releases in 2023, could be the first games published by Microsoft once the deal closes. That's to say nothing of King, the mobile game maker behind massively popular franchises such as Candy Crush. I think we have slept on King. Nobody's talking about King, but in the mobile space, they're number one.
It's
probably next to
Supercell. Revenue. It's straight revenue. This is like 100%. All Microsoft is doing is they're increasing their revenue. Like they're worried about that. Like, you know, you talk about influencers always like, oh, like passive income. You just want to generate passive income. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just
Yeah.
generating all this income at no additional cost. I mean, obviously a cost of
A big cost.
$68.7 billion dollars, but that
Yeah.
is that's going to exponentially increase that passive revenue. They're making
It's a
a
great
long-term
investment.
investment.
It's a
Yes.
great investment.
And also, Vincent, this brings their total number of internal development studios to 30,
Yes.
which is 7 more than Sony currently
Sony.
owns.
Yeah. It's giant. That's so huge.
That is giant.
And that's not all. Activision's back catalog includes remasters Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Crash Bandicoot 4, as well as the franchises preceding them. The company was also one of the last heavy hitters to do licensed non-sports video games with remakes of GoldenEye 007, Transformers, Spider-Man, and the Cabela's Outdoor Series, what is Cabela's Outdoor Series? Do you know that? Oh, it's the hunting games. Got it. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Guitar Hero and Skylanders, which the company shut down in recent years, are still there if the music, gaming, or toys to life genres respectively ever make a comeback. We'll see. And hell, Pitfall, the first blockbuster video game IP developed specifically for consoles, is an Activision product. Okay. Although Microsoft has acquired year-and-year bestseller like Call of Duty and 2 A-list franchises for which any development is breaking news, buying Activision gives the company control of a video game history going back to the dawn of console gaming itself, which could also roll into Xbox's backwards compatibility stuff. Are you kidding me? There's so much.
And
here.
they could bring servers back. Like they can do that. So like, oh, you want to play original Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the original servers? You can't. Or like they just took off Halo 3 servers from Xbox 360. Come back. Like
you already know in 5 years.
360. Yep.
In 5 years they're
gonna pull an Apple with that.
Oh god.
Take stuff away to give it back in the future. Yep.
How will Microsoft address the mess that has been some of the worst abuses we've seen in the game industry? Well, we haven't really seen all of this yet. This is a question for us, I guess, to answer.
These points are questions for us.
Number one, I think it is obvious enough that Phil Spencer's not stupid. The people that did this acquisition are not stupid. They see us, they hear us, they know exactly what's going on. It would be a huge miss if there was no statement released or anything like that. Right now, all we have is
it would shoot them in the foot.
It would shoot them in the foot entirely. Even the rumor that Bobby Kotick is out when the deal is done needs to be solidified within the next couple months. We need to hear something about that.
Yeah. But hear something from Phil Spencer.
Yeah. I don't really know the exact answer to what this question would be, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I just need a statement from Phil Spencer saying we are committed to redeveloping frameworks and empowering especially women and giving them positions of authority and executive positions to make decisions that matter. And they just need to put their money where their mouth is and that in the hiring processes. And ordering some sort of retribution.
Yep. Nibel points out that the irony of recent reports of Xbox reevaluating its relationship with Activision Blizzard only to buy them out entirely. That is funny. Remember last week we talked about 2 weeks ago, Phil Spencer was just reevaluating their relationship.
Yep.
And here we are. He bought them.
Yep.
Okay, James, one more little discussion point before we end this little segment here. What is Sony's move? Does it need a move? Because I think you made a tweet about this. Please read your tweet. I need you to read your tweet.
So after reading
I almost responded to the tweet.
Okay, so this tweet is, oh my god, someone's trying to FaceTime me right now. This is terrible. Okay, so after I tweeted this, I read Barrett Courtney's tweet, and not Barrett Courtney's tweet. I read Justin Legary's tweet.
Love him.
And God, where the hell? Sorry, this messed up everything for me. I apologize. Okay, so my tweet said, no game franchise reveal or remake will be enough to match Microsoft's acquisition of Activision. Sony needs a major AAA Square Enix level acquisition to fight back. After I tweeted this, promptly on my feed,
Yeah, sure.
Destin Legary comments, the narrative that Sony is going to answer back by buying EA or any other mega publisher, EA wouldn't make sense anyway, that's Microsoft property, or any other mega publisher is
Well,
so shockingly out of touch that I can't believe I've read it on the normally reputable outlet twitter.com. And of course there's a touch of sarcasm in there.
mhm.
But it's this sort of question of, does Sony need to do anything to respond to this? There's this sort of competitive, like, oh well, Xbox made this big move. Does Sony need to make a big move um in response?
Yeah.
They already have this plan of developing this like sort of new PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, uh, reformulation of whatever
Sure.
that's gonna be.
Mhm.
Do they need a Square Enix level like
Here's my
acquisition?
2 cents.
Okay.
I agree strongly with your first sentence of the tweet, which is there is nothing Sony can say that will up this that will, like,
Absolutely not.
go above this. There's literally nothing they
Even
can
if
do.
they were to buy Square Enix, I don't think it would be.
No. Although
It
that's a
wouldn't be the
great
same.
acquisition. I'd be very
Yes.
happy if they did that. But I don't think they're in the business of one-upping them. They're in the
No.
business of right now, Sony has fans. Xbox has fans on both sides. And I don't want to be this dude that's like, oh, well, the fanboys are always going to be loyal to one side. And that's not true. Because I'm back and forth too. I love me
Mhm.
my PlayStation and I love me my Game Pass. And that's just, it's great. It works so good for me. But Sony's like, I don't even know how to say this, but Sony is dedicated to their like high quality first party games, which
Yep.
is not what Xbox is focused on.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with this acquisition, they don't get me
Well,
wrong.
hold on.
Don't get me hold on. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
They have Halo and Forza, which are incredible and some of my favorite games of last year. Right? They're absolutely and beat many PlayStation games there. I don't think Xbox is developing right. They're just acquiring other studios to make them first party instead of trying to make like their other first party games like become hits. They're banking on previous stuff.
Think about it. Well, hold on. You're entirely leaving out Bethesda out of this equation.
I'm not. That's previous stuff, except for
But it's
Starfield.
Starfield and the
Yeah,
next Elder Scrolls game from like
that's
next
previous.
year going forward. What do you mean? The previously revealed,
Yeah. I
but
meant
they're
more of
brand
like
new games,
they're brand new games, but they're built on something. I don't see
like
Xbox.
previous franchises. You don't see them coming out
Yeah.
with new IPs.
Oh, I mean they are, but not any that are like more enticing than something else they're already making. Like I'm way more interested in like what Forza is than their new like 4-player co-op shooter. That's a first party game made by what's the
Are you talking
company?
about like Crossfire or whatever it is?
Not Crossfire, but the one where you shoot vampires.
Oh, not Back for Blood.
I don't know.
The one made by
Sorry.
Turtle Rock, Left 4 Dead
Like
devs.
I don't know. It feels like they're keeping I want to see a purchased studio or something from Microsoft that is developing games only for Xbox that have the same level of like hype behind them and interest around them, such as the like Insomniac first party
But
games
they
of
do.
PlayStation.
I mean, they do, just not in the form of brand new.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think they need that.
and I don't think they need it either. But
That they
I'm
don't
just
need that. That's not like a leg. I mean, for us, it might be a leg up for Sony, but I think for the audience that
yeah,
Xbox is catering to, they don't care.
right. They
Because
don't care.
at the end of the day, you're gonna be able to spend $10 a month
Yeah,
and get all of these games available to
absolutely.
you day one on Game Pass.
Yep.
While, I mean, as of right now, I'll speak just in the present.
Sure.
As of right now, our bitch asses are paying $70 per game release
Yeah, occasionally.
over here
Yeah,
on Sony.
it's true. And I'm very
And
excited to like play Rainbow Six Extraction this weekend on Game Pass because I'm not paying $40 for that game.
no, and you don't have to. You don't even
No,
have to
I don't
pay
have to.
$70 on Halo.
No. It's interesting. It's so interesting. But are you ready to
Guys,
wrap this segment or do you have more? Do you have more you want to say about this segment?
I'll leave it there. I'll leave it
Here's
there.
what I'll say. If you want more details and information on Activision acquisition, check out the full podcast on audio platforms or the full video for members on the channel. This conversation will continue. We'll see you over there.